Hello, Kostya.
Hello, hello.
What brings you here to Budapest? We are outside the National Gallery here, where Judith's Global Chess Festival was. How come you are here?
Well, I was in Europe already to play a couple of tournaments, and they finished recently. And I've never been to a Chess Olympiad before, so I figured I have literally nothing better to do than to come visit. It's my first time visiting the Olympiad. It's super exciting. I'm going to be doing actually some media. They gave me a media pass. I'll be doing some content, hopefully some interviews with people, some
For
photos.
ChessDojo?
For ChessDojo, exactly. Yeah. But also, I think it's going to be for the wider chess audience, not just for the dojoers.
Brilliant. You yourself played some tournaments. Is this your sort of journey towards your GM title?
Yes. I've been trying to get the GM title for many years now, basically since I was in FM. It's been my dream. I got the IM several years ago, and since then I've still been working towards the GM title. It's very hard, of course. I do lots of stuff with chess. I don't always have a ton of time to train, but that's the dream.
Where are you right now, like in terms of rating and norms?
So I have no norms. And in terms of rating, I'm actually quite a bit below my peak. My peak FIDE is about 24.20. After my last tournament, I think I'm around 23.45. So I've gone down quite a bit, actually. So I'm very far away from GM title. But okay, for me, it's really all about the journey of improving. Like, I still love chess. I love playing chess. I love working on the game, and for me, it's like as long as I feel like I can stay competitive and enjoy the game, that's all that matters.
And you said that a lot of your time goes in other things. So what is it, apart from playing chess, what is it that you do?
Oh, well, okay, yes. Most of my time goes to running the dojo, which means like making content, streaming, making videos, working on our training program, our website, also managing the logistical side of the business, which is not very fun, but very, very important. Just managing our social media channels, our content, our clips, all this stuff. So it's a ton of work. And so, yeah, it keeps me from being able to, let's say, train, full time. But okay, it's super fun. I kind of like having this hybrid lifestyle where I'm doing kind of a little bit of everything. I think I definitely, if I want to make the GM title, I really have to at some point kind of put my full focus towards it. Recently, actually, I started a blog, basically, on Substack, where I'm just kind of journaling about my GM journey. And the idea is to first give people some insight to like what it's like, but also actually it's more for me to stay focused, because I'm trying to blog, if not every day, every other day, and that's kind of keeping me grounded on like the journey, like reminding me like what I'm trying to do.
Fantastic. It's amazing that you are managing these two things, because it's not at all easy, as you said, but these are the two main things. Do you also teach privately, or do you do more things apart from ChessDojo and playing chess?
No, basically no. When the pandemic started, I kind of dropped a lot of my students and decided to focus more on the online work, making content that reaches more people. I do like teaching one-on-one. I still do it from time to time, but of course, when you work with one person, it's just you're only helping that one person, and so of course I would like to make content that kind of helps the masses, help everyone improve. That said, I have a few kind of private students that I just very much care about their journey. So for me, I do like coaching. It's very rewarding when someone you work with is improving and they're gaining rating, and it's almost more enjoyable than actually gaining rating yourself, seeing someone that you've kind of put your work into.
Amazing. And tell us about ChessDojo. Like, it's becoming very big. There are more students. It's very serious, right? I want to understand more about it. How did it begin, and who are the people who founded it?
Yes, so Dojo is run by myself along with Grandmaster Jesse Cry, who I know you've interviewed him, and International Master David Pruis. We've known each other for many years. We're all from the US, and basically when the pandemic started, we decided to team up because we were all kind of streaming separately. It was very competitive on Twitch and YouTube, and we realized we would probably be more effective if we teamed up. We also realized that we're very similar in terms of our philosophy towards chess improvement. Like, we believe chess improvement is hard. It's rarely fun. You have to really like work hard. We have this concept in the dojo about sweat work, where it's like if you're not like sweating during your training, if it's not difficult, then it's probably not the most effective form of training you could be doing. So our principles are mainly around, I would say, like the fundamentals of chess improvement, like playing classical chess, analyzing your games, not using engines too much, trying to use your own brain, develop your own analytical skills. We truly believe these days, actually there's so many chess companies out there, there's so many different programs and methods of improvement. It's actually confusing for people. If you Google how to improve at chess, you're gonna get a million answers. They might not be geared towards your level. And so the idea of the Dojo training program is we built this site where we just give people a very clear instructions on like how to improve their chess, what they need to do, which books to read for every level, which positions to study, which endgames they should know, when they should start working more on openings. Basically up until 1200, we say like no opening work, like at all. Learn the opening principles and then that's it. And then once you get to 1200, then you can start learning a little bit of opening theory. And our idea is to just try to simplify it for folks, give people a structure, and also a community. We truly believe in the importance of training partners and sparring with people that are around your level. For me, this is one of the biggest things I've done to improve myself, is just playing against others. And so we try to provide a very wholesome and like very reliable community where people can find training partners from around the world. A lot of people, they get into chess and they're on their own basically, and they don't really have people to work with. So the online community is super, super helpful and supportive for that.
I think you also have a Discord channel and where people can sort of interact with each other.
Yes. In fact, the Discord is kind of where it all started. And then the Twitch was like an arm from the Discord. It was the streaming channel of the dojo. But I think the Discord is actually, it's the heart of the dojo. If there is one place where everyone is kind of gathered, it's there.
Brilliant. And how big is the dojo now?
In our training program, we are up to about 1,800 members. Of course, we have maybe something like 100,000 followers, across social media. But within the actual program, it's about 1,800. Of all levels up to 2,500. In fact, myself, Jesse, David, we're all in the training program ourselves and trying to improve. So we try to follow the program that we've set out and spar with each other and all that. So, and we're slowly working our way up. We want to get to 2,000. It's very much like chess improvement. Like we look at it as an ELO. We have 1,800 right now, trying to get to 1,900, 2,000, hopefully 2,500 one day.
And what does it mean that someone is in this chess improvement program? Does it mean that they have to be subscribed or they have to be paying something, or is it like they are on this journey where they have to follow your curriculum? What does this 1,800 members mean?
Yeah, so the 1,800 people are subscribed to the program. There is like a monthly fee as well as like a yearly fee, which is discounted. And we also have a free version where people can kind of see what the training plan is like. And you can sign up for the site. One of the cool things about the site is you can track all your ratings in one place. So people, they're tracking their FIDE rating, their USCF rating, their OTB ratings, but also for many people, their online ratings are super important. So they're tracking their chess.com, their Lichess rating, and they get to see their progress over time.
That's amazing, yeah, like 1,800 members, and it's also very serious work, because I know that there can be a lot of things that can be done for views. You can have a lot of clickbait titles, but you guys don't do it. You guys are trying to sort of build something which is more holistic, more organic. How tough is that?
It is tough, especially because we easily recognize when we have more, let's say, fun content, more clickbait stuff, the views go up, but at the same time, we want to be kind of true and genuine with what we're saying. And we do believe that, there's lots of content out there that isn't exactly the most helpful for people. But yeah, so we try to find a balance of just giving like very correct, like educational, instructive content without kind of hiding the truth. Because I do believe chess improvement is very difficult. If it was easy, everyone would just be shooting up. But you truly have to kind of like reflect on your own journey, and you have to be very honest with yourself about your mistakes. And the people that end up progressing are the ones that really kind of dig deep and work hard. So we really try to not shy away from that fact that chess improvement is a very difficult journey. And everyone, I think all the top players at one point, they've had plateaus, they've had struggles, heartbreaks, disappointing tournaments. And so it's not easy to improve. But of course, nothing in life that's worth doing is easy.
Brilliant. And what would be like, do you know any success stories of the dojo which are like you have it in your mind, like someone came in who was lower rated and then gained a lot of rating in maybe tournaments and so on?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, yes, every month we collect success stories of people that either played their first tournament or they won their section or they gained rating or gained a new peak. And we're very diligent about tracking everything. Last I checked, collectively across the dojo, people have gained about 150,000 rating points.
Nice.
Which is just counting, let's say, everyone chooses one main rating system that they care about, whether it's FIDE or Chess.com or Lichess. So of course they might be gaining lots of points everywhere, but just counting that one system, the dojo collectively has gained over 150,000 points. We've had over 1,000 graduations, which means someone goes from, let's say, 300 to 400 or 700 to 800. Every 100-point band is a new cohort or a new group. So we've had over 1,000 people that have like gone up a level or maybe even multiple levels. So we're very, very proud of that. And we're on our way, hopefully to 1 million rating points served.
Brilliant. Are you the strongest one on the dojo?
No, I wouldn't say.
Jesse is one more, but
I wouldn't say so. No, Jesse, of course, is a grandmaster, so his peak is much higher. Though it's funny, over the last couple of years, me, Jesse, and David, our ratings started off differently, but have slowly converged to be very, very close to each other. So now it's very competitive. I think we're all racing back to 2,400, which is a tough journey, but no, I'm definitely not the strongest.
amazing. Tell us about like this improvement journey that you are doing on your chess journey. Is this something that you intend to continue doing? Is the chess dojo something that is like a main thing in your life now, or is there something else that you want to do as well?
I see. Yeah, I would say the dojo, as well as my own improvement journey, are kind of my two passions. And in fact, it's very difficult because I feel like I can only truly be focused on one at a time. For me, it's very hard to be focused on two things at the same time. But I'm doing my best. So sometimes I'm more focused on my own journey. Sometimes I'm more focused on dojo. But for me, basically, I'm going to keep playing tournaments as long as I enjoy it. If it comes a time where I don't enjoy playing chess, then I'll probably stop playing, maybe move on to coaching, which I also like. But for the moment, I love playing. I love competing. I love like learning new ideas and reflecting on my games and feeling like I'm competitive, with some amazing players. But basically, I'm very invested. I mean, for me, getting to GM would be just like a lifetime achievement award. So for me, it's just a huge dream. But also growing the dojo is like a huge passion of mine as well. Just because
it feels like something that you've created is growing.
Yeah, no, for me, it's Jesse and David. They both have kids, so they have other priorities. But for me, the dojo, I have no kids. The dojo is kind of my baby. That's how I see it.
So there are a lot of people out there who want to improve at chess, and I think a very good suggestion is to join the dojo and improve there. But if they do not join there, what would be your recommendation? Because all the time I keep getting this question that we have stagnated at a certain level, and all of the problems are different. Like someone is stagnated at, let's say, 800 ELO online, someone is stagnated at 1600. Is there something common that you can find in these, something that you can advise them so that they can kind of find their way forward here?
Yes, absolutely. In fact, one of my core philosophies, and I think part of the dojo's philosophy as well, is that people have been improving chess for a very long time. And people got very strong. A lot of people became masters before computers, before engines, before all these like fancy websites and tools. And the way people in the past got better was very straightforward. They played long time control games. They analyzed those games by themselves. They read chess books, they read magazines, they analyzed the games of strong players. So my advice is kind of to focus on the basics. Obviously, playing long time control games is super important, then reviewing those games. And then I would recommend going through game collections. For me, game collections are maybe one of the most underrated tools out there because...
So the best games of the masters.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can start with the old masters like Alekhine, Rubinstein. You can read the books of Fischer, Tal, advanced players, Kasparov, Karpov, Kramnik, some of these like more recent greats. For me, these books are undervalued because it's like the greatest players of all time explaining their thoughts during the game.
You also have a book here.
Yes, yes. I just got this because we're at the Global Chess Festival. I got it signed by Judith as well.
Nice.
She's very gracious. I mean, she's getting swarmed with fans and autographs. But yeah, for me, I just enjoy like reading the thoughts of great players. And okay, one thing I'll mention, because you asked about like common pitfalls and stuff. What we've seen at lower levels is that people just play way too fast. You know, they sign up for a classical game, G30, G45, and then they blitz out their moves, often because the opponent is blitzing. So that would be my main advice to people at lower levels is like, take your time, let your opponent play fast, but take your time, try to capitalize on their mistakes, try to play principled moves in the opening. If you don't understand why an opening move is played, then don't play it just because it's theory. Try to play moves that make sense to you, and then after the game, review those moves, review your decisions, and really reflect on your mistakes. Try to see if there's a particular type of mistake you're making, often miscalculation or making a bad exchange or messing up in the end game. And then of course you have to work on your weaknesses very, very specifically.
This kind of going through your own games and trying to find, it sounds really good, and I think it's also very logical, but the main thing that people struggle is to actually find these patterns where they are going wrong. They can't do it on their own.
Yes, well, okay, it helps to have a coach. But also even just a second pair of eyes, even if it's someone that's not necessarily stronger than you, but can see your games and notice like, oh, I notice you're often missing your opponent's ideas, or you're often leaving your king in the center. Just one observation can actually really help a player. I would say actually another very hard thing is people, of course, are very attached to their games. And I felt this too. When you lose a game, sometimes you don't want to review it because you're reliving a very, very painful memory. But for me, the mindset I've tried to cultivate is that every game is a learning experience. If you win the game, great. If not, it's because your opponent understood something better than you or did something better than you. And you can lose the game, but if you can at least learn from it, then you can win in the long run. And something I try to remind people is that, you know, you're going to be playing many tournaments throughout your life. So if you have a bad tournament here, a bad tournament there, it's not the end of your career. It's just a series of learning experiences that will hopefully help you improve in the long run. And that's the mindset I try to have when I go into my games, especially against strong players, is I just try to play my best chess, feel like I really put my full effort into it. And if I lose the game, so be it, but hopefully I can learn from those ideas. And sometimes you just blunder in the game and you just feel like an idiot, and there's not much you can learn from. It's like, okay, don't blunder like that anymore. Those, of course, moments are very painful, but you have to recognize that everyone blunders in chess. Like the world champions, they've all had terrible games and bad blunders, and so it's just a part of the game. It doesn't mean you're a bad chess player if you blunder one time, right? It just means you have to keep working on it. Maybe you got to do some tactics, but the path, I think, is clear. It's just not easy.
Great. And one of the things that you mentioned is play long time control games, and most of the people say that they don't have that much time for chess improvement. I think they are working professionals or they are school going kids and so on. So what would be your advice to them, because they don't have enough time to play long time control games?
Yes, this is a very common problem in the dojo. We have a lot of like working adults. Maybe they have 1 hour per day maximum, which is not enough time to play like a full length game. So one thing you can do is just try to play, let's say, every once in a while, like maybe once a month, if you can get a couple games in. Of course, playing online is easier because then you can play from home, and then you don't have to travel anywhere, you don't have to go anywhere for a game. So playing online classical is kind of one way to get around that. Many people, they set up a physical board, and so they're playing their game on Lichess, but then they make the moves on the board, they try to calculate on the board, and that's very helpful. Of course, you can play rapid at lower levels. I don't think it's the best way to improve, but you know, if you have no time, then playing rapid is much better than doing nothing. So you can still follow a lot of the same principles, play a little bit faster chess, but of course you have to recognize that at some point you do have to kind of make that time commitment, at least I think, to really develop those instincts and your understanding.
Brilliant. Kostya, it was a pleasure talking to you, understanding a lot of things about yourself, about chess improvement, about the dojo, and I think you guys are doing tremendous job. I have told this before that when I was growing up into a strong player, I heard so many videos of Jesse Cry when he used to teach on chesslecture.com, and it helped me immensely. and the fact that you guys are doing something together is something amazing.
Yeah,
So,
no, it's so funny you mentioned that because I grew up watching Jesse's videos as well on chesslecture.com. David as well did a bunch of videos. So it's very cool for me to be able to like team up with these guys and actually work with them. But thank you so much, Sagar. I mean, truly the pleasure was all mine.
wonderful.